FOJ 55. What's up, Jason?
Jeff, how are you? 55 episodes. Yikes.
Who would have thought? The streak continues.
Yes. I know we've missed a week or two here and there, but overall, it's been pretty darn good.
Yeah, you know what? We do this for the love of the game. And, we put out episodes when we can.
That's right.
Sometimes life gets in the way, and that's all right, too.
Well, we've had life get in the way. We've had technical issues. We've had, all kinds of stuff trying to break us down, but we're still here.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to stop us, and they can't. They're unable so far.
That's right. Can't.
As I say that in a hotel with shitty Wi-Fi and tempting the internet gods here.
Well, I'm coming at you directly into my phone because that's just how I do it these days. So can't nobody hold us down, Jeff.
It's the best computer you have in your house, man.
Yes.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably not good, I guess, but whatever.
No, it's not, but we'll get there. Hey, the Blackhawks just scored a power play goal, so that's good.
All right.
Up 1-0. Anyway.
Yeah, so we haven't talked Blackhawks, and I have no idea what's going on with the Blackhawks. So what is going on with the Blackhawks?
Well,
let's just start there.
They're currently playing the Calgary Flames at home. I believe their record is 9-5-3. Playing good hockey. A lot of young guys. Bedard's like in the top 5 in the league in scoring, which is exciting. Finally, 3 years, this is his third year, and he's starting to turn into the player that everybody kind of hoped for. They're getting really good goaltending. A lot of young guys in the lineup. The youth movement is happening. I think, what is it? There's like 12 or 13 guys under the age of 23 and younger. So the future is starting to show up a little bit, and it's been a fun team to watch so far. So if you haven't tuned in yet, I suggest you find a way and tune in. It's fun.
Yet another subscription that I have to go get since I'm already paying for NFL, paying for NBA. I'm looking at the Western Conference Central standings, and it is a log jam with 22 points in the middle of the conference there. Yes. With a whole bunch of teams.
Yes. But a lot better than the past few years. I mean, they're competitive, they're physical, they're not getting beat every which way possible. They're tough. They skate well, they check well. Like I said, good goalie play. So yeah, just an overall improvement over the past couple of years.
Until you started mentioning things like skate and check, you could have been talking about the Bears.
I could have. You're right. Well, I almost feel like they're kind of on the same trajectory, right? I mean, They were really bad last year. They've been really bad at the last. It's almost like the Hawks, the Bulls, and the Bears are all like at the same spot, right? They're all trying to climb out of the basement of their respective leagues. And so far, the Hawks and the Bears are succeeding. The Bulls kind of taken a little step back, but they won a big one in Denver last night. They beat the then 10-2 Nuggets. It was like 130-127, and they're still above 500. I think they're at 7
They're 7-6 right
7
now.
and 6,
yeah, so after
right.
that 5-0 start, they've kind of struggled here for the last couple weeks.
They have. They got Kobe White back. He didn't play yesterday, but he played the day before. They lost a double overtime game to Utah. So they're playing good basketball. Hawks are playing good hockey. We know what the Bears are doing. It's not pretty, but hey, we'll get into it. So
a win is a win.
A win is a win is a win. That's right.
So the last time we talked, where was I? I was probably in Orlando, I think.
Yes.
After having made a more than 24-hour trip from Asheville to Orlando, which is about an 6-hour drive. And so it took me more than a day to get there. Then I went to Fort Lauderdale area. So I had another speaking engagement thing on Friday and caught up with my brother Charles. Met up with him. We had a nice sushi dinner in Hollywood area, Hollywood, Florida. Met his dog Maverick for the first time, who was just the sweetest poop.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then hung out with our friend Chad pretty much most of the day on Thursday. And went to dinner Friday night late with him and Mari. And then I was back on a plane. Well, let's see. I got to the airport on Saturday about noon to my flight already being delayed 2 hours. And then rebooked onto a new flight that failed. And so I got kept on the same flight, but that flight ended up being delayed another hour, which meant I missed my connection back home in Atlanta, which is where I was going to next. And so I ended up having a nice 5-hour layover in the Atlanta airport for the 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. flight from Atlanta to Asheville. So once again, an absolute shit show from Delta.
Well,
just a couple days ago.
All right. Well, then, okay. So we had a lot there. So let's start on the positive.
Yep.
I often refer in my own mind to your brother Charles as maybe the most interesting man in the world, despite what Dos Equis thinks of their guy.
That's a 100% fair assessment.
He is just based on what he does and his travels and his just his life. It seems like is pretty awesome. So, what is a life update for Charles?
He's doing well. He has a house now down in Florida. It's very nice. Got, small little place in Hollywood, which is just outside of Fort Lauderdale. Got a nice pool. Gonna have an open backyard. It's great. It's a great spot. And just Charles things was, so I met up with him. I drove down from Orlando to Fort Lauderdale Wednesday. We met up for just to catch up, and then we went out to a really nice sushi dinner, which was excellent, by the way. Cairo? I'll have to look it up. Something like that.
Okay.
In Hollywood. And then Charles had his girlfriend was away, but coming back the next day. And so there was going to be like a girls' weekend at his house. And then Charles being Charles, had to hop on a seaplane to go to Bimini Beach for work early Friday morning.
So
which
where's
is
that?
Basically, it's off the coast of Florida. It is a island owned by Richard Branson. And so he works, as part of a cruise industry down there that Richard Branson is associated with.
Okay.
And so he was at Bimini Beach Friday. At the same time, I was talking to a room full of about 100 different auditors at the Fort Lauderdale Marriott about security.
Okay.
So just Charles things, sushi dinner, shuttling, his girlfriend and their friends around, and then hopping on a seaplane, out of Fort Lauderdale to a beach island, in the Atlantic Caribbean area type thing.
So I'm trying to think of, because whenever I think of Charles, I think of like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous by Robin Leach. And what was the tagline? Something at Caviar Dreams, and it was the part of it. And
Champagne Dreams and
caviar,
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. That's what I think of when I think of Charles.
He's got a lot of very cool travel stories. He does a lot of travel, goes back and forth between U.S. and Italy and Europe and all kinds of stuff. But he's having a good time, and good for him. He's earned it.
Great life. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the next day you went and spent time with Chad.
Yeah, we met for late lunch.
How is Chad?
He's great. Spent a lot of time. So late lunch, and then we went like bar hopping in downtown Fort Lauderdale to a few different places. And so just kind of caught up with him. It's been a while since I've seen him. I think the last time I saw him was like in person was for our friend Kevin's wedding. Was that 2 years ago? Up in North Carolina. So he and Mari came up and stayed with us. So he's doing well. And then we met up for dinner late Friday night out on, I don't know, it's some like, it's not oceanfront, but it's like, those waterways that kind of inside. It was kind of a cool little like burger place. And with him and Mari, that was a lot of fun too.
Now, is he still at the Clevelander in Miami?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They still have that same apartment. I think they've lived there, like 18 years or something like that?
I think so. I've never actually been there. We all just meet somewhere. But he's still living the South Florida lifestyle. So
love it.
Yeah. Both he and Mari are doing well. It was a lot of fun. It was good to see them,
Yeah, Chad's one of those guys. He's got a different kind of energy, but it's always positive, right?
It's chaotic.
Yes.
But I was just like, all right, we want to keep it
in a good way.
Right. Let's keep it a little bit on the down low. I got to work tomorrow, and and we did well. It was a lot of time to just sit and chat and catch up, and like old times.
Yeah,
it's like any of our group of friends, right? It's like we will go a long time without talking, and it's within 30 seconds, it's as almost if no time has passed.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I love about our tight circle of friends. Our foursome, if you will. But Chad defines the Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. I love that.
He's doing pretty well.
That's awesome. Good.
I'm trying to get him on. I mentioned that we were going to be recording, so I'm working on it.
Okay.
So hopefully, Chad, if you're listening, come on, man. What are you doing? Cruz, if you're listening. Anybody, if you're listening.
Yes.
You're all friends of Jeff. You can join us.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad to get to see those guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And by the time I got on the plane Saturday to come home, there is something about Florida that I am just allergic to. And so it was like slowly creeping up on me throughout the week. And then by the time Friday night / Saturday morning rolled around, it was like, all right, we're in full blown like sneeze territory. I felt fine. It was just, something in my sinuses or something was, just I'm allergic to. And it's something about Florida because every time I come down here, it's something.
Mm-hmm.
And, I fly home. I do the nasal irrigation, which again, if you haven't tried it, it's awesome.
What is it? Lavage?
Navage.
Or Navage?
As I would say, is the Rolls Royce flooding your nose. But there's other things you can, get the neti pots or all kinds of stuff like that. But
gotcha.
I finally got home. It was about 11:30 at night. And I was like, all right, let's get the water. Let's get in there. Let's do a couple rinses, go to bed. And next morning, totally fine.
Nice.
So now I'm in DC. I landed in Baltimore a couple hours ago. It's about an hour drive from Baltimore to where I'm staying in National Harbor, which is the MGM casino.
Okay.
So from all the problems that I had last week with Delta and it just being terrible air experience, today, as it's supposed to be, flight left on time out of Asheville, plenty of time for my connection, go get a drink in the Sky Club. I think they had some apple fritters or something there. I was like, ooh, don't mind if I do.
Yeah,
got a little bit of work done and then get to my flight. Flight takes off early.
Okay.
Nobody in the middle seat next to me. So, I have the poor man's first class, up front. And then get to Baltimore, get my Uber, get to the hotel. Oh, your room's not ready. Very sorry about that. Let's go ahead and upgrade you to a corner suite. And so I have this massive suite that has, a nice living room. It has like a double shower walk-in thing and then the bedroom back that way. So, so far so good. So yeah, and then Shake Shack, for dinner, which is here in the hotel. So,
nice.
It's going well. Now I can hear and see you're on the move.
I am on the move because
are you walking away? Are you leaving us? What's going on?
No. So I think my son wants to have a poker game in the basement. So I am moving the studio upstairs.
Oh man. So your son is claiming dibs over the poker spot.
But that's okay. That's okay.
Whose house is that, Jay?
Really, right now it's Charlie's house, Jeff, to be totally honest.
Don't answer that. That's fine. Charlie's an acceptable answer. And then,
So now I'm on location in a spare bedroom.
Okay. All right. Well, now you've got like the uplight. You look kind of like, I'm a leprechaun, from that movie. Yeah. So today was drama-free travel.
Yes.
Capped off with Shake Shack and this ginormous suite that I have for the next couple of days while I'm here.
Nice. I was going to ask you, do you upgrade the hotel at all when you go somewhere? Do you?
No. Not for business ever. I mean, I'm not in it enough for it to make sense. Now, if I'm going somewhere where it's going to be, part of the stay is like just being in the hotel room, maybe. Right. But no, I don't typically upgrade. I don't upgrade. I get upgraded just because of status.
Yeah, sure.
and stuff like that. And pro tip, MGM is now part of Marriott Bonvoy, which I already had the top status on, so that always helps. So,
Okay.
hey, more nights for that. But
Right.
no, I'm not typically a pay for upgrade for business.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just curious, because I know you travel a ton, but I don't see you as somebody who spends a lot of actual time in the hotel.
Not really. No. I mean, this one's a little bit different because I'm coming in tonight. The thing doesn't start till tomorrow night, and then I leave Friday morning.
Okay.
And so I'll have kind of like, tonight and tomorrow, mostly during the day and stuff, until like 5 or 6 o'clock at night to kind of hang out and do whatever here. So
nice.
But I wasn't expecting it. It was just, I booked just a normal room, and it wasn't ready. And so they upgraded me. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take it.
And you're in Ravens country.
No, I am in Redskins country or Washington Football Club or Commanders country.
Commanders
right? I went from Baltimore through DC, and now I'm in National Harbor, Maryland. Again.
Okay.
Yep.
I gotcha.
So,
nice.
And I know this because the GPS in my driver's car would tell me every time I entered a new state or district at this point. So I heard 3 different dings go off.
Okay, so you landed in Baltimore, went to the District of Columbia, and then went back into Maryland.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically kind of a round, kind of like a crescent type shape.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. Maybe not the most, I mean, that's just where the Delta flight took me.
Sure.
Otherwise, it would have been like Dulles or Reagan or something like that, but it was fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
So that's what I've been up to.
Yeah. Let's see. I am polishing off my previous job. I don't know if I announced this on the podcast or if I told you.
Yeah, you did. You mentioned that. Or no, I don't know if you did or not.
I think I did off air. So, yeah. And since my coworkers now know, I can, because they're the bulk of our audience. They all know.
Shout out to all Jay's coworkers. You're all listeners
They're
of the
all
week.
listeners of the week. Absolutely. So tomorrow actually is my last day in my current position with Cisco after 10 years of a street salesman. And I am moving to what's called inside sales, or like an account executive type thing. And that actually starts Monday. So I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of no customers, no nothing, which is something, even when I was on vacation, I still took stuff with me. So I have 4 days of just bliss, which I haven't had in a long time. So I'm looking forward to that.
Spend some time with Charlie.
Yes.
Some throat scratches, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So let's get into Charlie here. So we talked about this.
Yeah. Is he warming up?
No.
Okay.
He's actually noticeably afraid of me. When someone else is home, it doesn't matter if it's Michelle, one of the boys, whatever. I'll walk towards him, and he'll actively jump up and crawl behind them to get away from me. So I, figure that I somehow represent some intimidating thing from his past.
Yeah, maybe some prior trauma of whatever.
Yeah. So I did some research on this, and believe it or not, one of the tactics they said to try with it is to completely ignore him when other people are around. And that way he then hopefully learns that, hey, this person's in the room, but he's not doing anything to me. He's not, he's not paying attention to me.
You're not a threat.
But I'm not a threat. So I'm actually in that stage right now. If he wants to come up to me and smell me, that's fine. But I'm trying not to acknowledge it. Just let him kind of explore and, get out of the comfort zone a little bit. Because obviously I am outside the comfort zone.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Does that sound familiar to you? Does that sound like a right thing to do? Or what do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you have bad behavior, you don't, with a child, right? You don't encourage it by laughing and doing stuff like that.
Right.
And so you just kind of ignore it. And yeah, I can see that for sure. I think you do that, and then just, be as non-threatening as possible. Try to get down to his level. So sit on the floor.
Sure.
Maybe have some treats, nearby where it's, he starts to associate maybe you with, good times and things like that. Taking him for walks. just I think it just takes time. You're right. I mean, he may think that you are something from his past that he's not happy
trigger
with.
something with him.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping in these next 4 days, because there is going to be some time where I'm going to be the only one home.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that kind of helps, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because
just sit down on the floor, pop on some TV, and make it comfortable. And
if he comes and sits by me, cool.
Yeah.
If not, then whatever. I mean, I gotta tell you, and I don't know if you ever went through this, but it's really frustrating.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's awful. It's like one of your
Archie
kids
was like that
it's
for
one
like
of your kids
6
hates
months.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Archie would bark at me every time I came upstairs from my office in the basement. And it's like, dude, I live here. Get used to it. It probably took a good 9 months, 6 to 9 months for him to, at least be okay with it.
like it bums me out, man. Like it really bothers me. But,
Well, play the long game, treat him well, be non-threatening, have treats, throw the ball, take him for walks, how is he in the car? Does he go with rides?
He's very good with rides. Hops in the back seat, just chills.
All right. Maybe take him out to a park or something like that.
Well, I'm thinking if the weather cooperates, I might try and do a dog park run with him. Just me and him.
There you go. Yeah.
And see how that goes. So, because believe me, I want to have fun with him. I totally do. But I also don't want to freak him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And make it any worse. So we'll see how these 4 days go. And I know it'll work itself out over time. It's just in the present, it sucks, man.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, so, I get it.
I mean, I already know I'm an asshole. I don't need a dog to tell me.
He could just sense it.
Yeah, everybody else does.
Oh, this guy's a Sox fan. Ooh.
Well, that's Sox and Dodgers. That's probably the problem.
There you go.
So, anyway.
Yeah, it's a bummer, but it's one of those things that just takes time, I think.
You know what? He's a great dog because with everybody else, he is just loving, snuggly, likes to play. Obviously, he is very comfortable here, which is good. He's fit in extremely well. So once we get over this last hurdle, I think it'll be 100% perfect,
Yes.
So I think, play the long game, like you said, it'll be fine. I mean, I'm not going away, but I know he ain't going away either.
Right. Exactly.
So, we gotta fix this. So
he'll figure it out at some point. Realizes you're not a threat.
Yeah. So, I would never hurt him. No way.
Yeah. Better not.
No.
Charlie's already my favorite McGuigan. So.
I know. No,
I think we're probably going to adopt another one here sometime.
Awesome.
Or maybe around Christmas or New Year's or maybe before or after. Once I get done with this little spurt of traveling.
Sure.
So I can actually be home and not have a repeat of Archie, who is 100%, well, not even 100%, 300% bonded with my life.
Yeah, sure.
Like, she can't leave the room without her shadow following her and, wanting to know her. It doesn't matter where I am. It's all about her.
That's how Charlie is. And we just call it, it's like he has this nervousness that he just walks around with. And I call it the Paw Patrol. He's on the Paw Patrol.
Yep.
So,
So we might have another one coming in at some point. So we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah. Whatever they have with the shelter or one of the adoption agencies. So adopt, don't shop.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. No, we rescued and it was awesome. So
I want to talk some football with you.
Let's.
But I discovered a new musical act within the last couple of weeks. I meant to tell you on whatever was recorded, last week. Have you heard of the artist Irving Force?
Irving Force. I have not.
Okay, so the Irving, like IRVING, Irving, and then Force, like the word force.
Okay.
It's kind of like a synth-wave, industrial, metal, 80s, Escape from New York meets cyberpunk. Really hard to.
That's a lot there.
Kind of describe. It is. So the guy, I don't know his real name, but his performance name is Irving Force. Used to be in a Swedish metal band, I think it was, and then decided that he wanted to do more like EVM and like 80s synth wave type stuff. But he apparently can't get away from the metal. And so a lot of his stuff has like a lot of like crunchy guitars.
Okay.
And
now you said industrial, like industrial, like
kind of.
Like-
It's not like Rammstein or anything like that. Because it's really no lyrics. It's all instrumental.
Well, okay. So when I think industrial, Ministry comes to mind. Early 9 Inch Nails comes to mind.
Yeah,
for me.
9 Inch Nails, maybe some Gravity Kills.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
I would say not probably as heavy as like a Ministry.
Okay.
It's kind of like movie. It's music that I would expect to hear in The Matrix.
Okay.
Or Escape from New York, or some 80s action flick, right? And that's really kind of where the inspiration that at least they claim, or he claims it's coming from. But
something I would do.
My gosh, some killer tracks.
Yeah.
But some killer tracks. Highly recommended. Check it out. Irving Force.
I will do that. Yes.
And I mean, there's a few different things. It doesn't look like he's put out any new music for the last 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like a, late, I want to say like 2010s to 2019 kind of range.
Sure.
But I'm enjoying it. I always like to find new artists. And when I can find something new, it's like, oh, I'm kind of digging this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Irving Force. I will definitely check that out.
Oops.
So, all right. Well, before we get into football, I got a couple music things for you. Okay. So recently, and I think we talked about this last year, the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame happened.
Mm-hmm.
Inductions. 9 new members. And I want to see, I'm going to name the new members for you. I want to see if you can name at least one song by each of these.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're not familiar, I think you should know all of these. Bad Company.
Okay. Feel Like Making Love.
Yep. Okay.
I've seen them live, if that makes any.
Have you?
I saw them at was it the World?
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was still called the World at that point, but yeah, my friend Ryan and I, who used to bartend with at Fox and Hound, went out and saw them for whatever reason. Okay. I don't know why.
Hey, solid.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one of the few bands from that time period that I have not seen live.
Okay.
Let's see.
That surprises me. I would have thought you would have seen.
Yeah.
You would have seen them.
Me too. Let's see. Chubby Checker. Oldies.
Twists.
Yes. Famous for the twist. Yeah. Cyndi Lauper.
Did she do Girls Just Want to Have Fun?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Joe Cocker. Famous for...
I know the name. I don't know if I've ever actually listened to anything by him.
Is that the original?
I must have at some point.
Did you watch the show The Wonder Years with Fred Savage when he was a kid?
I know this. I know the show, but no, I didn't.
Okay, well, he sang the theme song to that, but there's a song called what is it? Feeling All Right from the 70s. Yeah, you would if I played it.
If I heard it,
you would know it.
Yeah. But we don't want to get a copyright strike, so we're not going to play it.
No, we're not. And I definitely can't duplicate what he's saying. So,
dang it, you almost fell for my trap.
Yeah, right. Outcast.
Oh, yeah. Bombs Over Baghdad.
Hey, ya.
Miss
Jackson?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
I love Miss Jackson.
Bombs Over Baghdad, though, is my favorite by far.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because that also has Killer Mike from Run the Jewels.
That's right.
So there you go.
White Stripes.
Oh, I mean, there's so many different songs. Salvation Army, obviously, is the big
one everyone knows.
Did they actually cover that one as well?
They did.
I think they did it there as like part of the thing. But Fell in Love with a Girl, Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground, the Conan theme. Although I don't know if that's next to White Stripes or just Jack White, but Friends, Hotel Yorba, Icky Thump. Yeah, I like the White Stripes.
Lot of good stuff.
Jack White. Yeah,
Jack White, tremendous guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do you know Warren Zevon?
Werewolves of London, baby.
Yes, very good. That was my seventh grade trigonometry teacher's favorite musical artist. Warren.
So
Zevon.
I didn't. I that song must have been locked away from me somewhere for a very long time, and I only added it to a playlist probably within the last 8 to 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
When I started to just explore more music and stuff like that, get out of my comfort zone.
That song is embedded in my favorite playlist as well. It's great. It's a classic. Let's see. Salt and Pepper.
Push it.
Yeah. And let me tell you,
Shoop, What a Man. I think those are the 3 that I know of. Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex. And I don't care. If a guy our age, if you didn't have a huge crush on DJ Spinderella back in the day, you're lying, because she was so hot.
We'll tell you, I didn't know who they were and had no inkling of who that was, so I did not have one, but it is mostly because of ignorance.
Well, let me tell you, she looks just as good today as she did back then. Unbelievable.
Okay.
And then the last one, and well-deserved, and I think overdue, is Soundgarden.
Yeah, it's a shame that Chris Cornell, passed away so early. I still think he has one of the best rock voices of all time.
Oh, no doubt about it.
So what is your favorite Soundgarden song?
Oh, man. I'm a big fan of Fell on Black Days.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would say that's up there for me.
That's good.
I mean,
that's
Black Hole Sun is their most popular one, right? It's like the most well-known.
My first introduction to them was Outshined.
Yeah, I liked Outshined. I know our friend Helen was a big fan of them, but it was Super it was a Black Hole Sun album. Super Unknown was the one that I first really started to get into them.
What is it? Rusty Cage, I think, is an absolute jam.
Not my favorite.
Really? I love that song.
Yeah. I have a tie between Burden in My Hand and Blow Up the Outside World.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Those are my 2 favorites. Now, it would have been Black Hole Sun 25 years ago.
Right.
So taste change and stuff like that. And certainly, obviously Audioslave is not part of this, but there's definitely some Audioslave bangers out there as well.
Oh, yeah. I remember, I think you went when we went and saw them at the Aragon.
Yeah, the really shitty show that they put on.
Yeah.
And they're like, they seem to be fighting on stage and kicking over speakers. Like,
it was very weird.
I'm disappointed because you think of like, oh, they must have been a great show. It's like, it was one of the worst concerts I've been to.
So this brings me to my new music that is I just caught a couple of days ago, believe it or not. So Soundgarden's drummer, once again, is Matt Cameron, previously elected into the Hall of Fame with Pearl Jam. So he is now a 2-time Hall of Famer with 2 pretty famous Seattle-based bands, right? That came out roughly around the same time.
He's a real drumming slut, man.
Yeah. And by the way, and I'll get back to Matt Cameron in a second. So you got Pearl Jam, Nirvana, and Soundgarden all in the Hall of Fame. When is Alice in Chains going to get their due? Because I'm sorry, for me...
Because the Hall of Fame is a joke?
I know. For me, I think Alice in Chains might be the best of all 4 of them. I love Alice in Chains.
Yeah. They're so strong.
Yeah. Lane Staley, you want to talk about frontmen? I mean, Chris Cornell is arguably one of the best. I put Lane Staley right up there.
Yeah, he and
in his prime,
Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When they would harmonize and duet and stuff like that, it was otherworldly. Yes, it is a sound unlike anyone else.
Yes. When Lane died, I was like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah.
So anyhow, okay, good. We're on the same page with that. So Matt Cameron is 62 years old, and I think we talked about him leaving Pearl Jam, right?
Mm-hmm. So
it turns out the reason nobody knew why, he just kind of announced I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah. So it turns out he left Pearl Jam because he had started like a side project called Is This Real? Which began as a tribute to a Seattle funk band called the Wipers. So that were big in the 70s, I guess. So they started covering the Wipers. Now, why is this significant? Because Matt Cameron, who's been drumming in all these bands forever, is the lead singer and the lead guitar player for this band. I never knew that guy could play guitar. Never knew.
That's how it is with these these musical prodigies, Dave Grohl's and, Paul McCartney, right? And they can play all these instruments and they just don't.
Yeah, I guess it just amazes me that a guy can, after 40 years, probably even more than that, of just playing drums in these bands that have been around the world, probably 100 times, decides, you know what? I'm going to take up a guitar and sing and start basically all over again. That's amazing to me.
Well, he's starting over though with two Hall of Fame bands already.
Yes. Well, yeah.
and the money and the cachet that goes along with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you throw that name in there, people are going to go see him, right? I mean,
yeah, right.
But hey, again, amazing.
What's it called again?
Is This Real?
Is This Real? So I'm going to type this into my browser so I can look them up later. Oh, not to be confused with the podcast, Is This Real?
Yeah, right. I guess Is This Real is either an album or an actual song by that group, The Wipers, and they kind of adopted it as their group name. And now they started just covering their music, and now they're actually doing original songs and things like that. So I guess they're working on an album. I think they formed in like 2023 originally or something like that. So yeah, pretty cool.
Okay, yeah. Is This Real is the debut studio album by the Portland, Oregon-based punk rock band Wipers, originally released on vinyl in January 1980.
Okay, there you go.
So there you go. You can get it on vinyl for your record player.
I just might do that. We have a local record store in downtown Plainfield that I need to check out. I'm told it's awesome. So that might be one of my stops in the next 4 days, is to go in there and see what I got. So
take Charlie there and see what he picks out.
Yeah,
I was in the Fort Lauderdale airport and they had vinyl on sale at the the Hudson News or whatever, kiosk is that you get water and whatever. And it was all new stuff. Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Lady Gaga.
Wow.
So everybody's jumping on the vinyl
bandwagon.
Yeah.
The other music thing I want to tell you about, I could have bought on vinyl, but it's the first CD I've bought in probably 5 years.
You bought a CD?
I bought a CD, and only reason why is because I'm a sucker for this stuff. Anything that's associated with either Metallica or Van Halen, I'm going to buy the CD because I want it for.
Yeah, you're a collector.
They're like my two all-timers, right? So, as we all know, Eddie Van Halen passed away something like 2-3 years ago, something like that, or maybe a little longer than that. Well, Sammy Hagar did a world tour with one of the members of Van Halen, a couple of the guys, basically as a tribute, right? So they turned that into a residency in Las Vegas. Well, they just put out a CD from that residency. So
it's like a live album.
Van Halen stuff, Sammy Hagar stuff, Joe Satriani stuff, all that. So I had to buy it. And I'm listening to this thing, and I guess Sammy Hagar's 78 years old. And what is it? The drummer is 72. Michael Anthony, I think, is 71. And I think Satriani's the youngest guy. He's like 68. I'm going to ask you to go on to YouTube at some point and pull up A Talk About Love, which is a classic Van Halen first album song. And go listen to that from this concert at some point in time. And tell me it's not just incredible that guys in their mid to late 70s are putting out this kind of music.
All right. I see some YouTube hits here from Las Vegas, April of this year, 2025.
Yeah. That song was released on an album in 1978.
Apparently, they brought out Kesha to sing some songs too.
Yeah. He always does this birthday bash in Cabo San Lucas because that's where his
Cabo Wabo.
Cabo Wabo, right? So I guess while he was down there, he had Belinda Carlisle and Jerry Cantrell join the party.
Nice.
So
that's a show I'd see.
That concert is actually also on YouTube, and I would invite you to check that out sometime. So yeah, Matt Cameron and Is This Real and Sammy Hagar, The Residency, I would recommend.
All right. I'm going to put them into my queue here.
And
you check out Irving Force and let me know. Let me know what you think of them.
We'll trade
I think
notes.
you'll like it. It's instrumental. It's kind of rocky, kind of not grunge, crunchy, that kind of sound.
No, look
kind of like a Doom soundtrack, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love music, man.
Right.
Music.
Yeah, it's never too late to discover new stuff.
Lately I've been listening to it more and more because, look, I love the sports. I love the Bears, but music's like my departure from that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm driving.
It's the easiest thing for you to carry around and disconnect because it's on your phone, right. It's in your car, it's in your headphones, It can be in a room with you, it could be on a speaker on your phone, or you can have a hi-fi system or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of pull it or whatever into... It's very accessible. That's probably just the short way to put it.
I hear you. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk some football.
Let's.
But I have a what if question for you.
Okay.
What if you found out that we are living in a simulation? How would you feel about it? Would it change anything? Like, give me the J-Mac thought process. You've just found out, this is not a hypothetical in this scenario, is we are living in a simulation.
Like a Truman Show type deal?
No, more like a computer program.
Okay, so all of my
we
actions,
are Sims,
all
for
my
lack of a
actions
better
are
term.
being controlled by someone else.
Not necessarily controlled, but we're programmed.
Okay.
Think like The Matrix, the game The Sims. AI, right? Somebody is running a simulation, and this is like a theory that people have had, which I think people have either I don't know if they've debunked it or not, but it's like one of those things. Like, is our reality actually real, or is it a simulation? And how would we know if it was?
Wow,
so The Matrix tackled it to some degree with some of the stuff that they kind of get into. But let's, for the sake of this argument, assume that it is a fact. We are, in fact, living inside of a simulation.
And I just found this out 52 years into my life.
Like, literally just now. I just told you, Jay, that thing that's been gnawing at the back of your brain for 52 years. Yeah, we're living in a simulation.
Okay. Well, first off, obviously, I'd be blown away.
Mm-hmm. Shock. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, initial very shocked, like, holy shit type shocked. Probably, oh God, I would start to question a lot. I would, for me, I would question a lot of why. Like, why did this happen? Why do certain things happen? Well, there's been, some, negative stuff in my life that's happened. I would question, why did that happen? Why, I've been really lucky with how my kids have turned out. Why is that compared to, I know some of the other people I know who've struggled through that? Why is just certain things in my life? Why is it the way it is? Does that make sense? I would question life in general, like, for hours about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, days.
Yeah, I mean,
years, right?
I would analyze the shit out of my life, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I would analyze everything and try to figure out why those paths were chosen for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think we, as a society and as a race of humans, species, I guess I should say, we are always looking to answer questions.
I was going to say, I do a lot of this. I do a lot of this anyway, by the way. But anyway, no, I do.
And so the concept of fate, for example, right?
Yes.
It was like, well, it's fate that I was going to go and adopt Charlie. It's just the way it happened, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't fate. Maybe it was the program. And the simulation, because of all the different variables that got calculated at that point, was, oh, that's how you ended up with Charlie. Or, pick any number of things that happened. Mm-hmm. So would it change your day-to-day knowing that you're living in a simulation? Essentially, would you keep running as part of the simulation, or would you try to pull a Neo and try to figure out how to break out? Or would you just be like, I don't know. Like, what can you do? You're not real. You're bits of code somewhere.
That's a real thought provoker right there.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would try to change. Like, I don't think I would spend my time trying to break away from what I think is going to happen, because, I mean, for 52 years, I never knew, right? So I wouldn't really know. It's like, how would I figure out how now I could break away from that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think this is where you start to think about like conspiracy theories, right? And things like that, where it's like, oh, and I'm going to keep going back to the Matrix. So I think it's probably the easiest example is the Matrix was a simulation, right? The humans were batteries essentially for the robots. They were placed in a simulation where they could go and be, relatively happy, right, within that construct of that world. And the robots even said, hey, we tried to make this, utopia, nirvana, and the human mind rejected it because humans want violence and, strife, right, and things like that. Maybe not everybody, but without that, humans didn't perceive that world as real.
Right.
And so, even within that construct, though, you had people, rebels, right, that were trying to fight against it. Morpheus and Trinity, and then eventually, the taking the red pill and then getting out of the Matrix, versus Cypher, Joe Pantoliano, who played that character, meeting with the agents, essentially the people who are running the simulation, saying, put me back in, you get me as a battery. I don't want to be part of this uprising anymore. I just want to eat my steak and be somebody famous, blah, 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 right? That. And if you follow the Matrix movies, I'm going to spoil it. It's been 20 years, so deal with it. This doesn't come out.
All good.
But even when they take the red pill and get out of that Matrix, they're in another Matrix.
Right.
And so there's levels, right, to it. And so, let's say you're able to break out of that first simulation, right, where Neo is not Neo, he's Thomas Anderson. Boy, I just realized I know a lot about Matrix. And then...
I'm impressed you remember.
Now he's Neo in the second level of the Matrix. And theoretically, there could be systems upon systems upon systems. So I think this is where you get this idea of like conspiracy theories. It's like, oh, yeah, man, there's a world behind your eyes you can't see. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't surprise me that there will be some people who would be trying to find that for whatever reason. And others that are totally fine. Like, okay, well, I guess I'm a bit of code somewhere, and this is my purpose.
No, that would spark a lot of curiosity for me. Because,
oh, sure.
And while, look, I'm not, religious or, any of that stuff, but I often wonder, like, okay, who's behind all this? What's behind all this? Why do things happen the way they do? Who created, where did the human body come from? How does the human body function? Who put that together? How did this just evolve into what it is? And it's like, now if it is evolution, why did it stop with the human body? You know what I'm saying? Does that?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely am not religious at all.
Yeah.
And, for me, it is evolution. It is,
Yeah.
I don't think we've stopped evolving.
Well, that's the thing.
The problem is the time scale that we're dealing with is we're talking about billions of years of evolution.
So how often do things change? It's like, do things just subtly change? It's so subtle that you're right. You don't notice it. At the end of the day, we are one little small blip in God knows how many years prior and years going forward that there's going to be, right?
Right.
I often, and I don't know if you think about this, but I often think, okay, when a person passes away, like, does something really happen to their being or their soul or their whatever to where they do move on and, or whatever? Or does it just stop and it's over and whatever?
Well, that's the question of the ages, right? I think that's where all religion is kind of born from.
Right.
I think it's
suddenly take
nothing.
on another. Do you take on another part of wherever the world is? And I'm not saying obviously you don't remember what the first part was, but do you
reincarnation of some sort?
Yeah, but do all of a sudden you come back as another person and you don't remember anything about round one, but you go ahead and you live it all again and then whatever,
Yeah. Well, it's the question of life, right? We're not going to answer it here on the FOJ show, but
no.
Me personally, I don't think anything happens. I think when you die, and that's it. We're a bunch of electrical signals in a meat bag, and for the very short time that any of us are here, even if we live to be 100 years old, this galaxy, by all estimates from what the science tells us, has been around for billions of years.
Right.
And so we're a blip. And I don't think anything happens. I think it would be really interesting to see some proof that something happens. It makes for great movies and things like that. And who knows?
Sure.
Right? I don't think nobody knows. But I don't think personally, I just think, no, nothing happens. I think, the world fades to black, just like the end of The Sopranos, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, there would never be a way to prove it, ever.
Right. The only thing that's left is your memory.
Right.
And that is what you leave, behind.
Yeah.
So you live on to some degree, right, within the memories of the people that you've touched, that remember you, and then from a genetic standpoint, it's whatever offspring that you've had.
Yeah. How you leave next generation and, all that kind of thing. So, yeah. Wow, that was a good one, man.
All right, I didn't mean to get that deep, but I was just like, all right, what if? I don't remember where I heard the question. I was like, all right, I got to ask Jay this and see what he thinks.
No, that's really interesting. So
what if I told you we are absolutely living in a simulation because the Chicago Bears are in sole possession of first place in the NFC North?
Yeah, if
that's not proof that we're living in a simulation, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot has taken place in order for that to happen. But 7-3, sitting atop the division, I'm going to say comfortably in third place in the conference right now. With winnable games still coming.
Games that we didn't think were winnable, but have become winnable for a variety of reasons. Obviously they've gotten, improvement for the team, but injuries, they got Steelers coming up. Good news, we're not facing Aaron Rodgers, who owes the Bears.
That's right.
So, Steelers defense has gotten really good over the last few weeks. So that'll be something to kind of watch out for. But, that's a game I think that we had pegged as a loss, potentially. That
we did.
They could theoretically beat the Browns, I think, is another one. So that puts them at 9-7. I think they're still going to struggle with Packers, 49ers, Lions, and Eagles. But take a screenshot. It's 2025, and we're in first place in the division. Not even tie, sole possession of first place.
Well, let's go back to when Ryan Poles was hired, and he said, we're going to take the North and never give it back.
Okay.
So
I've heard that.
Now,
yeah. All right.
They're at the top right now. Mm-hmm. Are they really taking the North? No, not. Come on. Let's be real. Are they?
I think they're borrowing the North.
Yeah, they're not. They're not the best team in their own division. Okay, they got a nice.
No.
They got an ugly win against the Vikings. We'll break that down here in a minute. I think it's conceivable that they could split against Green Bay. Green Bay is good, but we've seen Green Bay be bad too.
Yep.
Are they going to beat Detroit at home? Probably not. But we've seen Detroit be bad as well. As they were horrible the other night. Mm-hmm. And like you said, Pittsburgh is winnable. Cleveland if Shador is playing quarterback, they better win that game. They better dominate that game, to be honest with you.
Can we talk about Shador just really quickly? Because I don't want to give him any more airtime, but the fact that he got into the game and he was 4 of 16.
Yes.
And he played an awful game, but here's the problem I have with the guy is his attitude. So there was a play I think he had either just thrown an incomplete or he got sacked or something. And he scrambled and got like a 7-yard gain for a first down. And this jackass gets up and sprints down the field like 10 or 15 yards to celebrate.
Yes.
And then it was almost like you saw the light bulb click over. It's like, oh shit, I'm actually the quarterback and I shouldn't be doing this. I have to run back to my huddle and run the team.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're not ready for being an NFL quarterback. You don't have the mentality for it or the temperament.
Well, okay, so he came into the game because Dylan Gabriel's in the concussion protocol. So we're going to see Sanders probably for the foreseeable future. And now, the Bears game is still 4 weeks away. They're, week 14, I think it is. So whether he's still the guy at that point in Cleveland, we'll see. But I sure hope he is. Because
I don't think it matters. I think Dylan Gabriel sucks too. So give me either of them. I do want to see the Shador Sanders. I don't know what it is. I just have this kind of irrational dislike of the guy. I don't know if it's because he's like a Nepo baby of the NFL. And I just don't think he's a very good player. At least not yet. Maybe he turns into one in the future. I don't know. Right. Now, granted, he does play for the Browns, which they suck.
So they do.
He probably doesn't have a lot of help either, but that attitude of him getting a 6 or 7 yard scramble and then celebrating like he just won the Super Bowl was like, dude, get back in the huddle and run your team.
Well, Jeff,
be a professional.
Sometimes karma's a bitch, because while he was having an awful game in wherever it was they played, his house was also being ripped off of $200,000 worth of property, which I feel bad about, but
I shouldn't laugh about that. But yeah, it happened to Joe Burrow too, right?
It did.
Didn't his house get robbed?
It's happened to Joe Burrow. It's happened to Luka Doncic. It's happened to a couple other high profile
Shador Sanders, all the greats.
Yeah, right. But that sucks, but karma's a bitch, man. So yeah, Shador had a rough day on Sunday, but I'll tell you who did not have a rough day on Sunday was Bryce Young for the Panthers.
Bryce Young, man, I love an NFL quarterback comeback story.
Yes.
And to be left for dead, replaced by Andy Dalton, only get back into the starting lineup last year because Andy Dalton gets into a car accident and hurts his shoulder or wrist or something, and then comes back and throws, he throw 450?
Yeah.
Like 4 touchdowns or whatever. I mean,
it's crazy.
Good for him. Like, that's great, right? And that's good for the Carolina Panthers because if he ends up being that good of a quarterback, now he still needs to be consistent. They traded an awful lot to get him.
They did.
Including our DeAndre Swift. DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. Now,
and Caleb.
Yeah,
part of that trade.
they're flirting with 500. I think they're hovering right around that 5-5, 6-5, area.
They're 6-5 right now.
There you
They're
go.
a half game behind Tampa in the South.
Okay.
I still don't think they're very good, but I don't think the NFC South is really that great either.
Because it's
Tampa Bay's come back to reality.
Yeah.
Baker has turned into Baker.
Baker will Baker.
No.
And then there's
what if I told you
and the Saints?
There's the Falcons. Oh yeah, and Penix is out, I think, for the season now. So
yeah,
that's a lost season for the Falcons. I'm going to throw a stat line at you. Okay, 47 of 57, 452 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and you lose.
That's a full day right there.
That is, and that's Jacoby Brissett for the Arizona Cardinals, who only put up 22 points against the 49ers, lost 41-22. But he either set or tied a record, 47 completions in a game for 452 yards, and you still lose by 19 points.
Well, from a personal standpoint, we're going to veer off the road here a minute. I foresaw that whole thing happening. You know why? Because Jacoby Brissett was my starting quarterback for fantasy this week.
All right. Oh, did you? Oh, okay. All right. So
yes.
That's a good night for him.
So he is the 5th different starting quarterback I've had this year. 5. Now, usually when that happens, you think, man, the fantasy team is struggling. It can't seem to figure it out. Can't get the right lineup in there. Bullshit. This guy, 8-3, tied for first. We're doing just fine. I have started Brock Purdy, Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones, and Jacoby Brissett this year. All this year.
God, Justin Fields. That makes me so sad.
I know. He's now
with such high hopes at the very beginning of the season. It's like, all right, this is his chance.
Yeah, and now it's Tyrod time in the land of the Jets. So,
dude, you put up 500 yards passing in 5 games, and you got to make a change. Like he's just not good.
And the Arizona backup just almost matched that in 1 game. So yeah, it's been bad for JF7, and now he's going to be JF bench. So,
I mean, he's done, right? Justin Fields is done for the Jets, unless there's an injury and he somehow comes back and lights the world on fire like Bryce Young.
Well, he signed a 2-year deal with them?
He's a 2-year deal. Yeah. I think it's a 2-year deal, $40 million. I think 30 is guaranteed. So they're not going to cut him this year, but.
Yeah, but okay, he's failed in Chicago. He failed in Pittsburgh. And now he's failed with the Jets. Does he get round 4 somewhere?
No.
I don't think so either.
Pick him? He's a, I mean, I hate to say he's not even a good backup. He's a camp arm, or he does a Taysom Hill and turns into a gadget player.
He does a position switch.
He bites the bullet and just says, okay, I can't be an NFL quarterback. How else can I contribute to this team?
Right.
Now I'm a, Deebo Samuel, right? Or somebody like that. I mean, he's got wheels. He can run.
He probably would be a great receiver. If you learn the position, he's definitely athletic enough to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But does he have the ego that's going to keep him from? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But and then you got Josh Allen casually scoring 6 touchdowns.
I know,
3 passing, 3 rushing. Just Josh Allen day.
Yeah, Josh Allen being Josh Allen. MVP.
Yep.
That's why he's the MVP.
All right, let's talk Bears, man. We've put this off for an hour. 19-17. Really a boring-ass game for most of it.
Yeah.
I was not excited by really anything until obviously the 4th quarter, when, of course, they lead them down the field, get a touchdown. But then Bears gonna bear this year, at least. They drive down, they get the big kickoff return, and then, Cairo kicks a 48-yarder? I mean, he had missed one earlier.
Yeah.
Which is like, Cairo.
I know.
But 19-17. It wasn't a great game. Stats weren't there for anybody really on the team.
So let me start with the quarterback. So you got Caleb and JJ playing in this game, and I don't think McCarthy's very good, but you have to admit that it's only his 5th NFL start, right? And Caleb's like 20 some odd games.
But he's had a year to watch and learn.
But I felt like
I don't think he's it.
No, but I felt like I was watching what it's like to watch Caleb as an opponent, because they do a lot of the same stuff. They overthrow guys. The only thing, McCarthy throws interceptions, but McCarthy, he's got the happy feet just like Caleb does. The one thing that Caleb has that McCarthy doesn't is the escapability. And and he's able to just buy more time. But again, for Caleb, we saw overthrows. We saw, plays kind of, he kind of left.
Not just once or twice.
No, it was
multiple overthrows.
Yeah, there were a few. Yeah. We did see a DJ Moore drop. We saw a Luther Burden drop. So I'm starting to wonder, are they just not used to catching the ball from him? I mean, does he throw the ball too hard? I mean, everybody on this...
To Caleb?
Yeah, everybody on this team drops the football, except for Colston Loveland. He's the only one who I've yet to see a drop from. I know drops are going to happen, but I mean, these are easy, right in the breadbasket or right through the hands.
It seems like they come at the worst moments too. I mean, clutch plays, their 3rd down, their drive stoppers, things like that. I'd find it hard to believe. Look, they've they've been playing as a unit for a year and a half of game time plus, off season and training camp and all that stuff. If they're not used to the ball being thrown by now, we got other problems.
No, I'm with you.
I think it's the accuracy. I mean, a lot of the passes that Caleb throws are not on the money. They're behind. They put the receiver in an awkward position. Yes, some are on the money, and a drop is a drop. But how often do you see, a player catch it in stride where he's able to keep momentum instead of reaching backwards, right? Or reaching down to the ground, or all kinds of different, and it exposes receivers. That's how people get injured. So I do think there's a lot to be said of his lack of pinpoint accuracy. I don't know what his stats are, so you have to look it up here in a second, but another game, 16 of 32, 50% accuracy.
Well, he's okay. So for the season, he's 59.7.
Which is pretty average for him, and it's not good enough.
Which is 31st in the NFL. 31st. Now, take away some of the drops, he might be up in the 62, 63 range, but you could also take away some of the catches that guys have made behind him, above them, picked off the ground, whatever.
I think it's a wash if you think about it from that perspective.
Exactly. So there is obviously a lot to work on. He's got, 2,300 yards? That's good for 13th. The 4,000, they've played, 10 games? He's got 7 games to go. I don't know if he's going to get there, because what the Bears have discovered is they can run the shit out of the football.
Which is great.
Which is awesome.
And they need to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, they had 39 carries in this game. Now, the average wasn't great. It was 3.7, but 39 carries for 140 yards as a team. That eats clock like no tomorrow, man. I mean, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And you're right. That's what
DeAndre had a decent day.
To do. Yeah,
21 carries for 90 yards, but he's really the only one. I don't really count Caleb's scrambles because they skew a little bit, but I'll take a win. I don't know if I like the 3.6. I'd like to see them be around 4.2, 4.5 comfortably. If they're doing 4.2, 4.5, then they're probably winning by more than a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is both Swift and Monungai are averaging 4.7 on the season. That's good. I mean, I just looked up the passing stats, like you said, for Caleb. Yeah, he's 59.7 on the season, number 31. Right.
Here are the quarterbacks that have a worse completion percentage. Dylan Gabriel.
Yep.
Cam Ward.
Yep.
Joe Burrow, who doesn't really count. He hasn't really played. Russell Wilson, J.J. McCarthy, and Shedeur Sanders. That's the bottom of the barrel, dude. Ahead of him, by 0.1 is Trevor Lawrence. And then you've got Davis Mills, who I think he only had his first career start, or first start for the season this last week. Michael Penix, Joe Flacco, Bo Nix. So it's not good territory to be in.
No.
When you're sub 60.
No, you're really gambling there. You're playing with fire because, I mean, he only has 4 interceptions, which, okay, that's great. But again, they got to be able to move the ball down the field. And thank God for their running game, Yeah, I hope he does improve. It's just, okay, we're now 20, 25 some odd games into his career. I think it's more than that. It should be better. And I'm a Caleb guy. I've been a Caleb guy from the beginning, but
you're a Tyson Bagent, man. You just haven't figured it out yet.
No, we saw Bagent on the field twice as a decoy.
He's a good decoy.
Yep. But I'm sorry, it's got to get better. If they're going to take that next step, if this offense is going to take that next step, it's got to come from him because everything else is working. Offensive line is working well. The running game's working well. You're seeing Loveland start to make catches. Burden's getting. What you didn't see Sunday was Zacchaeus. No catches, no targets, nothing. Which tells me.
You think Luther took his spot?
Yes, I do. Because Burden had 3 catches on
27 yards on 5 targets.
Right. So I'm sure some of those plays used to be Zacchaeus plays. I don't know. I didn't even know how much he saw the field, to be honest with you. And that's good.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we've talked. That's a good thing.
That's what you want, right? Zacchaeus is I don't know how long has he been around in this for the team, but he's not strategic.
Oh, I think he was. We're going to sign him as a safety net in case Burden's not very good. Well, it turns out Burden's
he's
good.
Our wide receiver 4.
Right.
And that's it.
Right. So
how do you fix Caleb's completion percentage? Because this has been a problem forever. And I think it's quick passes. It's your first or second read and get the ball out quickly, which Caleb doesn't do.
No,
how often do you see him take a 3-step drop and bang, balls out? And I don't want to hear that bitch ass wide receiver bubble screen, which I fucking hate.
Oh, I know.
Because even those, he's not very good at throwing those. But seriously, how often do you see him drop back, 3-step drop, and balls out?
Let it rip. Not very.
Right.
He likes to improvise. He likes to create. He likes
to take a 5-step drop, do a pirouette, somehow spin away from the defensive lineman,
and bail out of the play,
and then
hopefully hit a
run
guy
towards the end, towards the sideline, and then buy time, and then throw a bullet down the field, either incomplete, maybe a completion, or out of bounds.
Right.
That's the Caleb special right now. He needs to become more of a pocket passer.
Yes.
And get the ball quick, get the read. Now he needs receivers to get separation. Right. Play calls have to be there. Yes, no. If he's throwing into a zone, don't want to throw into, somebody who's occupying the space the receiver's going to be in, whatever it may be. But if he could, if the play calls were at that level and he's able to execute it, I have to think that would naturally drive up completion percentage.
You would think.
Get some easy pitch and catch. Run slants and crosses all day long.
For me, Colston Loveland, I think, could play Brock Bowers level tight end. I think he could be that good. But if you watch...
I don't think we'll ever know unless Caleb gets better.
If you watch Bowers, all of his catches are 7 yards here, 10 yards here, 8 yards here. They're not these monster 30-yard catches, maybe once in a great while. You don't see Kelsey go deep anymore, but he still makes that 8-yard catch, that 10-yard catch all the time. And that's what makes Mahomes good. That's what makes, I can't say it makes Geno Smith look good, but because he sucks. But anyway.
He's definitely taking a step backwards.
But he obviously has a higher completion percentage than Caleb does.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
But yeah.
It's the West Coast offense. It's, you throw short passes, that becomes your run game. And short, high percentage, let your playmakers make plays.
Mm-hmm.
Let them run and break a tackle. Let them take a slant 5 yards and turn that into 30, 40.
Right. Give me some yak.
Throw the ball
Give me
forward.
some yak. Give me some yak. A little yard
yeah,
after
exactly.
catch.
Yeah. Yak it up. Geno Smith, 66.3% completion run percentage this year. He's 18th in the league.
He still sucks. He was horrible the other night, but
yeah, well, that's the Raiders for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Max Crosby's still good, but
he is. It was nice to see the Bears defense play well. I thought they played their
another game with a couple of really, really clutch turnovers, especially the interception in the end zone.
Yes.
They gave up obviously the touchdown at the very end that caused a lot of drama and, had to get bailed out again. But when they get those turnovers, that's a good sign.
Oh, yeah. And the one thing the Bears don't do is turn the ball over. I have to give them credit for that. They don't turn the ball over hardly at all, which is great.
Yeah.
And I think they lead the NFL in takeaways still. I think they do.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great. But yeah, man, they're 7-3, top of the Central. They would be the 3rd seed as of right now. I think there's a path to 10. Maybe they could squeak out 11. 10-7 would just be amazing for what they were last year.
For what they were, and the fact that they're actually competitive at some of these games, and you're seeing finally some light in that tunnel, that long, dark tunnel that we've been in for so long.
Yeah, you're winning games that you would have lost last year, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, people talk about, their schedule this, their schedule that, their schedule's weak. Well,
cares.
To start
Win's a win.
to start the season when everybody was 0-0 based on the previous year's record, they had the second toughest schedule in the whole NFL. Now, you look at some of the teams have, taken a turn for the worse or whatever, and the teams aren't as good as they were last year. So what? You play the teams that are on your schedule. If there are teams on there you should beat, you beat them. I mean, the Vikings, what did they go 15-2 last year? Something like that. 9 of their wins were by one.
I think they're regretting Sam Darnold letting him walk.
Yeah, they are. I mean, he threw 4 interceptions
because Sunday, I think they are an average quarterback away from being good.
Right.
And JJ is not it. I mean, JJ stole one at home against the Bears in that first game.
Right. But
if the Bears should be, well, you could say should be because they could be 8-2. They could also be, 4.
They could be 3-7 for all we know, But
right, yeah.
The Vikings last year were 9-1 in one-score games. So it's not like they blew everybody out. They were just on the right end of a lot of tight games, just as the Bears are right now. So I don't care.
That's kind of like Kansas City Chiefs, right? Last year where they had so many one-score games that they won. Yeah. This year they're not winning those games.
No. But a team like Denver, they are winning those games, and that's why they're 8-2.
Yeah, Bo Nix drives me crazy. I don't think he's very good.
I don't think so either. But
they got a really good defense.
He's
but
doing enough.
They're doing it in spite of that.
Right, as opposed to the Patriots that are winning because of Drake May. Drake May is really good.
Yeah, he's definitely an MVP candidate
for sure. Because I think New England's also 8-2. Am I right?
New England's 9-2.
9-2. Okay, well, they haven't had their bye yet, so yeah.
New England and the Broncos are both 9-2. Yep.
Okay. Well, they've got their 2 different ways.
And then you've got they're the leaders in the AFC, and then the NFC you've got Philly at 8-2, the Bears at 7-3, and the Rams at 8-2. Rams look really good.
That Rams team, dude. I don't think there's a weak link on that team at all. Stafford, I mean, he's in his...
I think they'll go as far as their injuries let them.
Yeah, I mean, Stafford's in his...
If they stay healthy.
In his 17th season, and he looks as good as he ever has, to be honest with you. He's a Hall of Famer easily for me.
What a trade. Can we think about it? Like...
Stafford for Goff.
Detroit all that time for Goff, and Goff has done really well in Detroit as well. So
wasn't there
the proverbial win-win? I think.
Yeah, there were a few draft picks in that trade as well, and I forget.
I think so, but they weren't the headliners.
No, that was just Stafford for Goff for the most part, and win-win for both. They both needed a change of scenery. I know Goff did, and Stafford. It wasn't. I don't think it's so much he needed.
He put in the work at Detroit. It just wasn't happening.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to change. I think the Lions needed to change. So, and then they both have seen success. So crazy, crazy. But hey, I'm proud of our Bears.
It's exciting.
Man. Yes.
Take a screenshot, save it to your phone, put the little heart on it, put into your favorites. When is the last time we've been able to say the Bears are in first place in a division?
I can't remember. I don't even know.
Take that screenshot, print it out, put it on your refrigerator, tell your kids, write it in your journal, your diary, whatever.
The funny
I don't think it's going to last, but I'm going to enjoy it while we're here.
Yeah, because they could be so much better. They need to be so much better, I mean, they're still down their top 3 corners or 3 of their top 4 corners on defense, and it shows.
And didn't Tyreek get hurt in the last game too?
Probably.
He was a little bit banged up, I think. So they're definitely hurting on defense. They're still short a true defensive pass rush.
Yeah.
They get that. They continue to get comfortable in the Bears offense with Ben Johnson's scheme.
Right.
And they're getting, we're looking a couple years away here. We could be legitimate.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting average to maybe slightly above average quarterback play at times, but it's average. It's be honest, it's average.
It's average. Yeah. He's doing enough to win the games, and
right.
he is turning into clutch. He's got 5 comeback victories this year alone.
Yeah. But
that's a great number for somebody in the second year.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But
I would much prefer to not have to come back all that many times.
I want to see. I think it was when they played Dallas. They dominated the hell out of Dallas, and Caleb was awesome that game, if I recall. I want to see that more often because we really haven't. It's kind of let's survive the first 3 quarters and let's get all dramatic and become Superman in the fourth quarter. I want to see the fourth quarter in the first 3 quarters.
Right.
So
it feels like every game is a adventure. And by the time the game is over, it's just like you're exhaling because you've been pent up for the last, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, 5 minutes at the end of the game where they have it and then they give up a touchdown, right? Or whatever, maybe you're a drive to take the lead or to go behind. It feels like you're just waiting to exhale after every game.
It's
just not sustainable.
As a fan, you feel like, okay, I feel like I just played. It's like, holy crap! Thank God it's over. Like my heart is pounding. I'm into this, and Chicago Bear fans, as you know, they're invested. They love this team. They live and die with it. And as you watch these games, I mean, it's your blood boils, and then it's like, okay, then the calm happens at the end of the game. And, but you don't know if you're going to get there. You just don't know. Like
it's a relief when the game is over.
Yeah. I have a text feed with a bunch of friends from work. And I mean, we're just bopping back and forth throughout the entire game. This sucks. This dropped. You can't believe this. Not Caleb's terrible, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, it's like, oh yeah, we're 7-3, and we shit on this team like no tomorrow. Like, why can't they do this? Why can't they do that? But somehow they come out with wins. And, you see the post-game locker room.
It.
Yeah. So.
Enjoy it. Let it happen. Let it wash over you. Remember this feeling.
And then go take a shower.
We're in the toughest part of our schedule.
Yeah.
Like now.
Yes. Now the gauntlet
I think
happens.
the next... Yeah, and let's see how they do, right? If I'm not expecting them to make the playoffs still, despite everything that they have going for them right now. I think at best they're a wild card, but I don't even think they're going to make the wild card. I'm trying to be pessimistic in the hopes of tempering expectations for myself and to not be disappointed at the end of the year.
Okay,
knowing like, look, this is a year of change. I'm already really happy with the way things have gone. I think they've gone as a team better than I expected. Caleb has not been as good as I thought he would be.
Okay.
I need to see more improvement from him. But from a team and an organizational perspective, how can you not be happy?
Right.
With the way things are going? And, what a difference a head coach makes.
Okay.
We've been trying for a new head coach for decades. And
they got the
this
coach
is what
right.
happens when you get a good one.
You got the coach right.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, I could see this guy coaching this team for the next 10 years. At this point. I mean, some people are already saying he might be the best pure head football coach this team's ever had. I'm not there yet, but some people in Chicago are. Which, I mean, everybody loved Ditka, man.
Yeah.
But Ditka...
Well, but even still, he wore out his welcome at some point.
Right. And I'm sure this guy will too at some point. But
yeah,
we'll ride it as long as we can. All right,
now,
go ahead.
So early on, you said something about Ryan Poles. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what it was, but I was thinking here, and it just occurred to me again,
we're going to take the North and never give it back. That's what he said.
Yes. So it was like that, right? That's what he said. But are we doing this because of Ryan Poles or in spite of Ryan Poles?
Well,
how much credit do you give him and how much blame do you give him?
That's a great question. I think it comes down to this. You look at the additions to this team this year. They drafted Loveland. They drafted Burden. They traded for Tooney. They traded for Jonah Jackson. They signed Drew Dahlman. So they essentially fixed their offensive line in 1 year. Okay. They made Theo the starter at left tackle. And last year he was a free agent that never got into a game. He was on the team, but never got into a game at all. And now suddenly this year he's your starter. When all that happened this year, are these players that were identified by Ben Johnson where he says, these are guys I have to have, go get them for me? Because I guess the question is, does Poles make those moves if Ben Johnson's not your head coach? Or does Ben Johnson say, this is who I want, go do it? Who's running this team? Is it Ben or is it Ryan?
Yeah.
I think it's Ben. I think
it is too.
I think it has to be.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either.
Because I think the coach clearly has a scheme that he's trying to implement, and you need those, appropriate skill sets to do that. So why not? In this case, I see the GM as the numbers guy. How do we make it work?
Right.
Ben, tell me what you need, and let me go figure out how we can make it work. And say, okay, well, I can get this player, but it's going to cost us this. Are you okay with that? Yeah, it's a little bit of a check and balance, obviously, because you don't want to have, I think, too much power concentrated in one area. But I kind of hope Ben is leading the show here and saying, here's what I need. And Ryan has taken a step back to be the numbers guy, figure out how to make it happen.
I agree. I think that
not good for an ego if you're trying to be the guy, but if you can get out of the way of your ego, that'll get you an extension. It'll get you another extension.
Yeah, I think that it's almost like, I know the GM hires the coach, but it's almost like the GM works for the coach based on what you just said. Here's what I need. I need you to go get it. I need you to make it work financially under the cap. And then we'll make it work on the field. But this is what I'm telling you this team needs.
But shouldn't it be that way?
Yeah, I think it should. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, the coach is the one that is trying to implement offense, defense, etc. I just feel like that's the way it should be.
He's the general, right?
Right.
I mean, he makes all the decisions during the game. It's his playbook. It's, he's the guy working with the quarterback. I mean, at the end of the day, once the team is assembled, what does the GM do? He consults with his head coach. Hey, this guy got hurt. What do we need? What do I need to go find? Right? That's but day to day, what does Ryan Poles do once the team is put together? Scout other teams.
Got scouts for that.
Yeah, right. Watch the waiver wire. I mean, I don't know what, and I would say this about any GM. I'm not just saying about Poles. I'm just saying your head coach is obviously in there during these decisions in the offseason. So you're kind of doing that together. You're doing the draft together. But once the team's put together and you're out on the field and you're building an offense, building a defense, and, guys are in practice, what does the GM do that makes the football team better?
So what would you have the GM do? What would you have them? What's their role?
I don't know. What would I have them? I know. What would I have them do?
Yeah. This is your organization. You've got a coach. You've got a GM.
Mm-hmm.
What is the division of responsibilities?
This is okay. If I was the GM and I hired Ben Johnson to coach our football team, me and Kevin Warren decided that Ben Johnson is going to be our football team, or going to coach our football team, I would then go to Ben Johnson, knowing what kind of success he's had in Detroit, knowing he's the guy I want to develop my quarterback. I would then go to Ben Johnson and say, okay, you're now my guy. And this is just me talking because I don't have much of an ego. What do you need from me? That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. And whatever Ben Johnson tells me, that's what I would give him. I don't need for him to know that I'm his boss. Who cares? But that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're dealing with macho men, football players.
I know.
Egos.
And Ryan Poles,
and I think that's where the downfall of a lot of these organizations.
Yeah, and he's a former player.
Yeah, look at Bill Belichick.
Well, look at Bill Parcells. He was both. Look at Jerry Jones. Yeah. He owns the football team, yet he insists on being the GM. Even though I don't think he knows a whole lot about football. Actual X's and O's football.
I think he GMs by gut.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
well, you know,
I think your head coach has to run the team.
I think they do, but I think the GM also needs to be a check and a balance.
Sure.
Against the head coach.
Like a guy to bounce
I think
ideas
you're
off
wrong.
Of. Yeah.
I think that, but also be an objective. I think the GM has to separate themselves a little bit from the team and try to be objective. Because I think if you're too far down in the weeds, you fall in love with something, or you don't see, you're not seeing the forest from the trees, right? That kind of thing. And so I think the GM's role is to think and be abstracted away from the day-to-day team. I'm looking at macro trends. I'm looking at strategy versus, the day-to-day of the team. I'm absolutely looking at the coach and saying, tell me what you need. Let me go find that. But I'm also bringing back observations from a third party. Say, hey, I noticed this.
You're describing...
And having that conversation.
You're describing the football version of Moneyball to a T. You watch the movie Moneyball, that's what Brad Pitt's character did. Studied the numbers.
That's a great movie.
Studied the trends. Him and Jonah Hill, his assistant, studied the numbers, studied the trends. But what did he say? How come you never travel with the team? Remember they asked him and he said, I don't. How come you don't watch the games? I don't. You can't get too close to the team. Because what did he say? Because I think I have to cut these guys. I have to suspend them. I have to discipline them. All that stuff. I can't become their friend is essentially what he said. I have to trade them. All that stuff. So they're all basically numbers to the GM. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, coldly, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's just GM specific. I think there's a lot of management jobs in any industry where, for the health of the business, right or wrong, you do have to initiate layoffs or fire people or whatever. And it's no different from, any other job. But I do see a good GM as obviously supporting the coach. Coach needs players. Coach, what kind of players do you need? What skill sets? Okay, let me go find the best deals that I can for those. And then let's come back and talk about what's going to cost, because nothing's free.
Yeah, here's what I can do.
Are you willing to give up X for Y? Right, exactly. But I also think that the GM needs to be taking a wider look at not just this season, but the next 3 to 5 seasons.
Yes.
What are the trends happening, right? Is the West Coast offense making a comeback, or are we going to ground and pound, right? Do we start staffing up for our own tush push? So we have 4 downs every drive to get yards? Or is that going to we think that's going to get outlawed in the next year and it's not worth building up, right? I want strategy at the GM level. I don't want coaching.
Well, there's also fiscal responsibility. That's the GM. That's not on the head
and
coach.
The fiscal. I mean, yes.
Where are we on the?
I'm not a numbers guy. I would have a numbers guru, right? Give me the best cap person that I can find.
How do we manage the cap? How do we manage? Hey, whose contract expires when? Whose signing bonus is this? All that stuff. Yeah, most teams have a cap guy, but the GM.
I'm just going to sign up for ChatGPT Plus, and that'll be my cap guy.
And most teams have that, but the GM's got to know about it. I mean, the GM's got to have his hand in everything. Yeah. That's why they call it the general manager.
Yes, but I don't want the GM to be in the day-to-day. I want them to be abstracted. Like I said, I want them to be thinking 3 to 5 years down the road at all times.
Sure. Do you think the Bears structure is that way? Do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think Poles is that?
Ryan Poles has been a little bit of a black box this year.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, you really haven't heard anything about Poles.
Well, because
I mean, I don't hear anything, at least not in the national news. Maybe there's something locally, but
no,
like he's not making waves. I think he's doing what he needs to do. I think he was on the hot seat, right, going into last year. And then was he extended last year or was it the year before that? I don't remember.
I think it was the year before.
Because he got an extension.
Yeah, it was the year before.
Okay. But he was definitely on the hot seat last year.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Because there was a lot of complaints around the roster that was built. Now, was that the roster that previous coaches wanted? And this new coach is better,
right,
at scheme and players? I don't know. But I don't want a vocal GM, and I'm okay with Ryan Poles being in the shadows if he's okay with it and can do the job effectively.
I think when things are going well, that's when you don't hear about the GM. When things are bad, you hear about the GM all the time. So I think the less you hear, the better off their situation is. So, and again, being 7-3,
I agree with that.
Being 7-3 helps that. It's not all pretty.
It'd be a lot different discussion if they weren't.
No, for sure. You'd be hearing about polls all over the place. So,
yeah, I don't think we'd be hearing about Ben Johnson because he's still in the honeymoon phase. But
right,
give it another year, and if they take a step backwards, or
right,
if they're not having the success that they have this year, and they continue into next year not showing any improvements, then I think you've got to okay, what's the problem here?
Yeah, because next year they're not going to have a top 10 pick. Their first round pick. I mean, that's probably going to be right in the middle, somewhere 16, 17. If they make the playoffs somehow, it's going to be even lower than that. So can they still find an impact player further down in the first round that's going to start for you? Can you still find a pass rusher that can help you immediately that far down, or can he work his magic and trade up? That kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, he did the one trade to get the Caleb pick, but can he trade away to one pick to get all that stuff, which helped result in the Caleb pick. But can he manage a draft when his picks are further down?
I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah.
They perpetually have been picking mid-round anyway, other than last couple of years. So they've gotten some first rounders.
Yeah.
They've never outright tanked an entire season.
No.
That would give them a top 5 pick. But they're perennially in that, picking somewhere between 10 and 20, 15 and 20. And so, we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this year we will. But arguably their second round this year sucked. I mean, yeah, they got Luther Burden out of it, but they got an offensive lineman. They got an offensive lineman who goes out there when either somebody gets hurt or when they use a tackle eligible play, when they just want something extra. He doesn't start for them. Most second round picks start. Their third pick got hurt and is out for the season. But even when he was healthy, didn't start. So those are misses. So it's not like he's hit on everything. He probably has more misses in the draft than he does hits, to be honest with you. But and I bet I bet a lot of NFL
the draft is hard.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, I would be happy with a 1/3 to 50% hit rate.
Yeah.
Knowing that I have drafted number 1 quarterbacks for the last few years trying to get it right.
Well, that's the thing. If Caleb turns out to be the guy, then that kind of overshadows everything else.
Right.
If he gets that one right, then all bets are off. Who cares what he did with the rest of the draft?
Yeah.
It's pretty, whatever. And
but that just shows how important getting that pick is. And if you don't get it right, it sets you back years.
Yeah. And we're still waiting to see it. Luckily, we're winning games while we're waiting. So.
Right.
Hopefully we don't have to wait. We don't have to wait much longer.
Bears are in first place. It is November 18th as we record this, 2025. I'll have to look back and see, but it's been a long time since we've been able to say the first place Chicago Bears.
Yeah. I'm still saying they finish at the very least, 10-7.
I don't know if I'm ready to go that far yet.
I think they beat Pittsburgh. I think they beat Cleveland, and I think they win one of the Green Bay games or the San Francisco game. That's what I think. So that gets them 3 more wins.
I think the 49ers tear them apart.
Okay, Homer.
if the Niners are healthy, I think they will tear them apart.
They could.
Because, especially with this Bears defense. I mean, 49ers are good.
Well, at that point,
when they're healthy,
you'll most likely have Jalen Johnson back because he started practicing this week. You might have Kyler Gordon back, which gives them, the 2 DBs that they were missing. And it depends. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter if Mac Jones or Brock Purdy are playing. They both play well. If McCaffrey lasts that long, then yeah, it's going to be tough.
Right. And, the 49ers and the Bears are very similar paths right now.
Yes.
Key injury. I mean, the 49ers defense is just decimated. I mean, losing Fred Warner is huge, but they've lost a bunch of other players as well. Obviously, Brock has missed most of the season at this point. But I think Brock is a better quarterback than Caleb. I don't think the Bears have an answer at all for Christian McCaffrey.
Probably not.
And I think Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall, when they're healthy, and Greg Kittle are 3 of the best, are better than anything we've got on the Bears at those positions. And I, as much as I like DJ Moore and I wrote like Odunze, give me Kittle and Ayuk. I think Pearsall's a toss-up because he's been injured too. And I think he's coming back this week, or he came back last week. But
is Kittle still out?
Between, let's just call it Kittle. No, he's played
back
this week.
Okay, touchdown. Good.
Yep. He's one of the top tight ends in the league, and I think that exploits an area of the defense that the Bears don't have. They're not strong up the middle of the linebackers.
Fair. We'll see.
So I don't know. I think the Bears and Niners are very similar teams right now, just from like a destiny or a fate perspective.
Well, I mean, one of
they're putting up numbers on offense, but both their defenses suck right now.
One of them's 7-3. The other one is 7-4. They both play in really good divisions, top to bottom. The Niners dealing with Seattle and the Rams, and then obviously the Bears dealing with the Packers and Vikings and Lions. So, yeah, they are very similar. I mean, those are probably the 2 best divisions in football, probably. I'll say, arguably...
It just so happens my 2 favorite teams play in the 2 hardest divisions.
Yeah, right. I think the West, just because of Seattle and the Rams and the Niners, are probably... The West as a whole is probably just a touch better right now.
Are the Seahawks fool's gold? Because Sam Darnold had a terrible game again.
He did, but I don't know. I think that was a one-off. I think Darnold's proven that he's good.
I mean, they're 7-3, but yeah. I mean, he's had a great so far season, but he's put out a couple clunkers.
He has
this last few weeks.
He has, but I still think.
I mean, they almost won that game,
right?
It still came down to a field goal at the end, and the kicker missed it,
right?
So even with 4 interceptions, they still had a chance to win that game.
Yeah, I think that team is more.
So I love the plus minus, the differential.
Yeah, they're more. I just think they're more than Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? I think their defense is good enough.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And they got a stud receiver in Jigba. I think the running game is good enough. So yeah, they're gonna be there at the end. We'll see what happens. Like, I don't think, what is it? The Central or the North had all the playoff teams, and I don't think 3 out of the 4 NFC North teams are going to the playoffs this year, like they did last
year. Yeah. Okay, well, here's my final thought. I love point differential. 49ers are +9. Bears are -6.
Good.
49ers have scored 261 points to the Bears 258, only a 3-yard difference.
Uh-huh.
And It is 252 on defense and 264 for the Bears. So again, very similar.
Okay. Am I losing you?
All right. I think my Wi-Fi is starting to throw in the towel.
Are we tempting fate here? Yeah, because I'm starting to see reconnecting.
Probably would, but
yeah,
me too. All right, that's a good shot where you can have a really nice hotel room but shitty Wi-Fi. So
that's how we do it, man.
All right, let's call it for this week.
All right.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in a couple days when I get back from where am I? I'm in the DC area.
All right,
National Harbor, Maryland.
Okay, let's hope the Bears kill Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Let's see how they do.
Smash his other wrist.
Yep. There you go. All right, man.
I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya.